What's up, everybody? I'm Aiden Gatine, CEO of 3C Detailing. Today we're here at the 454 Route 28 shop, and we're going to give you a quick run around and walk around through the shop, show you everything that goes on, and I'll tell you a little bit about the story, how we got started, and where we've come today. So we walk into the office where we have our desk set up and the customer waiting area. Not too many people wait here because I purposely have some hardwood chairs. Our services take a little while, so we tell people not to wait, but some do. So this is where they sit. This room has evolved from, at one point, having a showroom car in here and a really tight area, not much of a desk, to now a little bit more of a professional scenario with my desk here. We have Ryder's desk. We have the creative media coordinator's desk. So we get good things done in here, and we'll walk you into the next room, which is the clean bay. This is where we do all of our corrections, coatings, PPF, all of our high-end, high-ticket dollar jobs. So this room right now, we have this 993 Turbo, finishing getting wrapped up with the polish to then further coat it tonight. Also coating with Fine Lab Ultra V3 on this. We're doing the turbo wheels, getting those prepped and coated. So we'll be ready for delivery tomorrow. This room consists of Swiss tracks. I went with the pearl and black Swiss tracks in this room to give it a little bit more of a cleaner feel. We have Cree linear lighting in here, really good quality lighting, dimmable, super adaptive, great for seeing paint and really fine details. We have the Nuspum Sprinter 7. This is a 7,000 pound scissor lift. Goes up to about 40 inches in height, which is perfect for us. Sitting on the Viper chair, polishing, so, doors and rocker panels and low parts of the car. Makes a good 360. We have 360 access to the car using a scissor lift. There's no post in the way. That's why we opted for a scissor lift as detailers. Lifts up to 7,000 pounds, so the only thing that we really can't lift is big diesel trucks, but other than that, I've had no issues lifting anything. This lift is super reliable, super aesthetic, and a really good all-around quality tool that I've invested into this place, along with the lights being another really good investment I've made for this room. We walk up to here, and I have my cabinet array, my toolbox array going along the wall here, filled with all quality, mostly German tools. Most of our power tools are Milwaukee. Huge fan of Milwaukee and their products. I have the Mako truck that stops here. That's our Milwaukee rep. Ton of German tools in here. We have Hatchet sockets, along with a mix of some Craftsman sockets that I've had laying around. Sonic torque wrench. This is what we torque all of our wheels down with. Really reliable tool, always accurate. Got this from Matt Mormon at Obsessed Garage, along with a handful of other tools in here. Tons of Knipex tools and so on and so forth. We get into our specialty tools for detailing, like our polishers. We have Milwaukee polishers, some rotary polishers, and we carry the Mirka 3-inch DA, which is the best polisher in the world. We get into pads and surface prep products and coatings up in this ProSlat cabinet. We have our Dynaudio LYD7 studio monitor speaker setup. So this is connected with a PSB sub in the back of the room. So I'm always listening to music when I'm working if we're not filming. So I always like a good quality speaker. When I built this place out, this garage door here was non-existent. It was just your normal two-fold French door. So gutted that out. Put up the nice, clean looking insulated glass doors, very modern looking, very light. This is a manual lift door. And then in the wash bay, we have our automatic lift door. The guys that installed these doors did a really, really good job. Very happy with the service. Tons of innovations and renovations that went into building this place. But over the last 2 years, it's really come a long way, and it's doing it. It makes our efficiency and our work really good and quality. And here you see the Nuspum power to the lift. So just by a simple touch of a button, goes up, like I said, goes up about 40 inches and goes down really quick, hence the name Sprinter, because this thing moves pretty quickly. Really clean setup. I ran the hydraulic lines through the Swiss tracks underneath the trim. So it's really clean looking, aesthetically pleasing, and very functional. We don't have any tripping hazards, and it works really well. These ramps were custom built by a client of ours who's a carpenter. I opted to not go with the new spum ramps, mostly due to the ability to not get them at the time that I bought the lift. They switched generations. So we got creative, and I had a carpenter take solid measurements, and we created a blueprint for him, sent it to him, and I just threw some grip tape over top so they stay cleaner for longer, because paint doesn't really hold up well on them. Something I've been chasing for a while is the finish of these wooden ramps. But they work really good. I've yet to have a car that was too low for these ramps. So another solid innovation that has went into this room over time. When I first came into this place, every wall had this cheap slat wall. And over this past winter, my girlfriend's father and I did the renovation of this room. I tore down all the slat wall. We redid the drywall and got it took me like 5 times to get the right paint color, but I really love this paint color. Paint matched the trim, which is not something I've done before, but I really like the clean look of the trim and the walls being the same color. We have the mission statement hung up throughout the shop. So in the front room, there's the big boy, and then in each room, the detailers and the workers are always reminded of the vision and mission statement. That's why I have it hung all throughout this place. So we're constantly reading it, constantly going back and checking in, making sure our quality lives up to our mission statement. So here we have our Lutron Pico switch ran to the Cree lighting in here. So we have full dimmability, goes down all the way. We can rock these at like 20%, either a certain color car, or we're trying to do a certain task where we want light being low, or if we're kind of just hanging out in here having some conversation, lower the lights so it's not super bright. But when we work, simply press one button, goes all the way up, super strong lighting. Walking into the wash bay, we have another Swiss track room, 2 drains in the floors, because oftentimes we're washing. This is the Krenzla K1622 that I have on the stainless steel shelf. The blue Cox reel with the Obsessed Garage 100-foot hose, along with the Prevost piping running water to the pressure washer, and Prevost piping running to our Cox reels with our air lines. Also Continental Obsessed Garage hoses running to the air lines, Prevost fittings in all of them. I really love my German stuff, if you can't tell. We have the Obsessed Garage Solution vacuum. So the vacuum is stationed right here, kind of in the back corner, so it's not loud. It's a very quiet vacuum to begin with, but having it tucked in the back makes it out of the way permanently. And then the plumbing runs up into our back room, blasted through both walls, came into here, and this is where we pull from. So we very easily can pull this 50-foot line out. And as a quick demonstration, we lock it in place, have our fittings, tons of other fittings in the back room, but this is just the most commonly used one. And then to suck it back in, this is the part that everybody finds is really cool. Unlock it. 1, 2, 3. So things like this make the efficiency of the shop really smooth, really quick. We can hit our last, when we do a pro service, we vacuum a car 3 times. So on that last vacuum, we can just pop it right back in, be quick, on to the next task to wrap the car up. Moving over to our products. These are all Obsessed Garage press-all bottles with the Obsessed Garage label. Eventually, I'd like to get our own 3C labels. But right now the Obsessed Garage ones work really well, and they hold really well to caustic chemicals. Something that they have put a ton of R&D into, which is why we've adopted these and we go with them. We get the blanks because we carry our own products, so we label our own products. These are dual action sprays, so it sprays on the out and on the back in. Really efficient bottles, really aesthetically pleasing, as you can tell. We have a mix of the clear and the anthrite. I am undetermined if I have a preference as to the clear or anthrite. I kind of like the clear a little bit better, just so you can see the product inside. These anthrite ones are darker, but they do have a clear slit on the side so we can see how much product is in. But these are just so much easier. We can see that the tire dressing is 3/4 of the way full. We don't have to fill that anytime soon. Obviously, you can tell by kind of just shaking the bottle how much is in there. Really love the press-all bottles. They have the stainless steel tip. The stainless steel tip lasts a really long time when we start getting into products like iron eater and wheel cleaner that typically get clogged or eaten with corrosion of the chemical. Like I said, really caustic chemicals don't last long with bottles. Your typical bottles like Zepp bottles and bottles that manufacturers ship products in. This is another project that came about over the winter when I redid the clean bay. We always had something here, but it wasn't really efficient as to how to open it or how to talk in between rooms, because oftentimes we're conversating in between rooms. Me and Ryder kind of engineered this to just simply open and close from both sides. The wash bay has this handle on this side, the clean bay has this handle on this side. We can easily just slide it right open. If it's a nice day and we're not working on a coating and we're just washing cars and maybe buffing a car in there, so it doesn't necessarily matter with contaminants, we can just open and close this, get a little more airflow, listen and have the Dynaudio speakers playing in here, because in this room I have Sonos speakers. Sonos is a great feature because you don't need Bluetooth, you just need to be connected with Wi-Fi, but the quality of the Sonos speakers is nothing compared to the Dynaudios. So oftentimes I'll be washing a car in here late at night, I'll open this window and I can hear the Dynaudios like it's the same room because they're so loud. Here we have the newly purchased iPad. This is an iPad I got yesterday from Verizon. This iPad serves the purpose of our new app. This is logged into the detailer end of the app. So we have the schedule, we have my job, we have checklist, and then within the my job, you can, when a job pops up, it'll populate the year, make, and model of the car, and then you can open the owner's manual of that vehicle. There's also a detailer-specific AI bot that's integrated into this system. So if a detailer is working on, say, a Ferrari and can't figure out how to open up the gas cap, he can just say, how do I open up the gas cap on this Ferrari? The Ferrari will already be populated into the job, so it'll know what Ferrari he's referring to, and from there, give them the answer, quick question answered. AI we're implementing slowly into this business, and it's really streamlining our efficiencies. When I first came into this building, there was no hot water, there was no heat, no cooling. So I installed the Fujitsu mini split. This is a 30,000 BTU mini split, so it's a little oversized for this room. Excuse me, this is a 24,000 BTU mini split. A little oversized for this room, but works really good because I wanted a little bit of oversized power because the insulation in this cinder block room is not it. Having a strong mini split makes it really comfortable when we're working in the winter and makes it really comfortable when we're working in the summer and it's 95 degrees out. Shut the doors quick, it stays 65, 70 degrees, whatever temperature I set it at, that temperature reflects onto the thermostat that's sitting up on the wall. So the mini split was a great investment. Hot water also was a great investment. We only pressure wash with hot water. It's mediocre hot. It's not super, super hot, but the ability to wash with hot water makes the process so much easier, because when you're washing with cold water, dirt doesn't really want to come off as easy as when you have hot water, just like when you're doing your dishes at home. So we always pressure wash with hot water. That was another huge move in this building here, because this building was really rough when we came in. The way you see it now is not at all what it looked like when I signed this lease day one. So we walk into our back room. Once again, we see the mission statement and vision statement. And this floor was completely caved in when I took this place over. So reframed the floor, tore it out, reframed the floor, put new plywood in, and then from the plywood, I just installed this turf. Super cheap, easy, really great stuff. I love the look of it. It's soft on your feet. We have a little couch for mostly folding our laundry, but the couch kind of makes it a little bit more homey back here, a little bit more staff only feel back here. But as we walk through, we have all of our big chemicals in this. So a lot of our single gallons and 5 gallons. So you see all of our gallon products and our 5-gallon products, along with some other odds and ends things. We go into this locker, and these are mostly our miscellaneous extra products, extra bottles, things like that. It's not super dialed, not super organized. So I know we have some work to do with this locker, but the things are easy to find, and it's sectioned off into what things are. So it does work, but it does need to be cleaned up a bit. I know that. And then we move into our other locker, which is probably low because we've been super busy. But typically this is our, locker of rags. It still is, but a ton of stuff is in the laundry, ton of stuff is in the clean bay, laundry bin. This typically is full to the brim with all rags. Clearly we've been busy, but this is our rag section, all organized nice, coated by whites, interior, exterior, etc., so on and so forth. And then I have my little coffee machine in here. Consists of snacks, coffee, microwave, you name it. I got it in here. Also not really dialed locker. This is fell off the back of my friend's gas station truck. So we got this Red Bull cooler in here. It's pretty hard to get these Red Bull coolers unless you want to pay a fortune. I did not pay a fortune. I got a good deal on this thing. And the super necessity is pretty much an apartment style stackable washer dryer. Really good because there's not a ton of space in here. This thing probably does 4 loads of laundry a day. It's a workhorse. This was another good Facebook Marketplace find. I drove a bit for it, but I got it for a steal and it was brand new with a couple dings and scratches on it. And this has been here for about a little over a year. And I mean, man, we've done thousands of loads on this thing and it's a tank. So knock on wood, that thing is doing great and it's doing its job. We have the ability, instead of subbing out a laundry company, which I was doing before, it's so much cheaper to just spend the money on this machine and be able to do it whenever we want. And then we have our water treatment here. The water here comes from a well. So we have our well pump and tank. It's a shallow well, it's only 50 foot. The water here is not great, so I have some water treatment to kind of counter it and balance, softener, DI tank, and then I also have, at the pressure washer itself, I have a sediment catch. So the pressure washer runs efficiently. We have a Craftsman toolbox with some brushes and just some miscellaneous interior detailing things. I love these Scrub Ninjas. These are awesome products. We have different Scrub Ninjas for dirty vehicles, Scrub Ninjas for higher end vehicles. So we go through things like this. We have, a ton of extra parts that we go through, magic erasers, vacuum parts, etc. Some extra parts for wheel cleaning, and then our mats that we put in all of our delivered vehicles. Hanging up here, we also have our SOPs. So when there's a question on what each service consists of, when we have a new hire, they can quickly go back, find the service they're doing, look at what the SOPs consist of, and make sure that they check all those boxes, along with the app having those checklists of boxes based on these SOPs. So here we got Rick coating these turbo wheels. He's the head tech. This guy is a workhorse, man. He spends many early mornings and late nights here, so I give a ton of credit to this business, to Rick. He's an awesome detailer, really good, tons of passion in his job. You can clearly see here he's dialed into his work, so we're not gonna get many words out of him, but good job, Rick. And then we walk into our office, and this is Ryder's favorite seat in the house. This is his desk. Ryder has 10 different notes going on, 10 different screens going on, 3 different phones at once. So definitely a genius in his own way, much different than I am. Ryder here is our principal engineer, and he likes to claim himself that he's head of IT now because he's built he's put many vigorous hours into building this awesome app for us. So Ryder is a very big reason as to why this business has the success that it's had. He helps me with figuring out logistics of pretty much everything in this business, and I just funnel him ideas and he takes it and runs with it. So I leverage Ryder's genius in many different ways, many different times of the day, and we get the most out of Ryder's work.
That was good. You want to say anything for the camera?
So this business started, I founded the business a little over 3 years ago, and we came to this location just over 2 years ago. So I took the leap and I took the risk of opening up my first shop. It was a big risk because we weren't necessarily ready or prepared to take on the work that we took in at first, but we made it happen and we executed very well. So the risk was a big thing as to why this business became. The location of this place is awesome. There's about 30,000 cars that drive by on this highway every day. Now the downside is they're doing 50 miles an hour and my sign's not that big, but word of mouth has gone a really long way in this business. we always focus on the customer relationship and executing the service provided. Customer relationships is huge, and building relationships with people that own cars like this has gotten us to where we have become. I give some credit to the Obsessed Garage manual that my friend Matt wrote, and I took it and ran with it. So, you know, he's had a ton of inspiration to me as to the functionality of this business, and a ton of other people in the detailing world have had huge influences on me. Along with my previous career being a barber, I made a ton of really solid relationships with people, and they, you know, have supported me through the whole way, whether it's giving me business or giving me advice. So this business has escalated every year. The revenue is on an awesome trajectory, consistently doubling, and we're working through all of our kinks and making things really efficient within the business to streamline and make sure everybody's happy with their service, and make sure that the people that work in this facility are happy and love to come to work every day. So that's one thing that I'm constantly striving to be better at, and you know, create an environment that attracts people to come to the business and work in the business and do exceptional quality. That's part of our mission statement. Thank you for watching this video. There will be tons more on YouTube. We're just getting started with this YouTube content, and it's only gonna get better. So thank you to our guy behind the camera for making these things happen and giving me the ideas, because I can talk to you guys all day. So I hope you guys stick around and listen to me chat and ramble on and on. So thank you.